Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about The Nightingale by Kristin Hannah. This is actually a historical fiction and it was published in 2015, so it's been some time since it came out. I never thought that I would say something like this about a historical fiction, but here I am saying it out loud. I have fallen in love. If you have been following me since quite some time now, like the past couple of years, you would know that I have repeated it multiple times that I am not someone who enjoys reading historical fiction. And I have some arguments for that. Number one reason is when you are reading historical fiction, you come to realize that it's not exactly fiction. You know, yes, you are reading the characters that are fictitious, but the things that they are going through are the things that someone has lived through. And the atrocities that they are going through, the characters, yes, they might be fictional, but somebody alive, a human being, must have gone through in the past, and that's the reason that we are reading it. So that is one of the things that disturbs me the most when I'm reading a historical fiction, because it's not just some piece of work, it's not just some piece of fiction. It is historical fiction. It is something that has already happened in the past. Yes, it is okay to read historical fiction to educate ourselves, but to read them in a way that we feel overjoyed, to say that we enjoy reading historical fiction is something, I don't know, it just doesn't sit well with me. But after reading The Nightingale, I have changed my thinking a little bit. History was never my favorite subject in school. I hated it, and I hated it with a passion. It kind of also is dependent on who your teachers are. A good history teacher will make you fall in love with history. I never read history because of it. But now as an adult, now when I read historical fiction, I look at it from a different perspective. There have been quite literally in the recent past, I have read quite a few historical fictions, and all of them have interested me because of the mere fact that they have been written in a really, really good way. Anyway, so The Nightingale, I love the reasoning behind this book. What I specifically love is the note that the author has written, and quite literally at the initial stages of the book. It's literally after the dedication. So she has written this note for the readers, and I love it. And I feel like it's pretty much, it goes for everyone, no matter where you are from, where you live in the world, and no matter which community you belong to. It goes for everyone. And it's the fact that war and the heroes of war are usually always shown as men. Like a hero of a war is always a man. No matter where you are from, either you are from the west or the east or the north or the south, women of war have never been talked about. And I feel like it's probably because of the fact that history is told from the eyes of men, or because we live in societies that are governed by patriarchy, and no matter how much efforts a woman must have put during the war, they are never really talked about. But now, as times are changing, people are frequently talking about women and women in war, and I simply love this book because of that specific fact that it focuses on women of war, women during war, and what kind of role they played. So The Nightingale is a story about two sisters, Vianne and Isabel. The story takes place during World War II, and both of these sisters are trying to stand against and trying to, sort of fight against Germans who have occupied France. They are trying to survive, and they are trying to do whatever they can in those circumstances to make a difference in their communities, to help the people, to help Jews, to help minorities, and even people like them who are suffering because of the war. It's an incredible story of loss, of sacrifice, survival, love, and how much you can sacrifice for not just your blood, but for other people of your community. And exactly, and at the blurb it also says this story is about what it's like to be a woman during the war, when women's stories are all too often forgotten or overlooked. It takes me back to when I was watching Ertugral. Yes, it was primarily a men's show. It was about Ertugral. It was about the Ottoman Empire, the beginning of it all. But it was I saw an equal importance, if not so equal, then a little bit lesser importance, but importance given to women of the community. They were equally, if they were not shown as going to the war alongside men, then they were shown as women who held on their ground, who stood up for their rights, and who supported the people of the community, who took children under their shelter, provided them solace and provided them comfort. This was the first time that I saw something like that happening in a show. And like even in today's time, there are women soldiers. They are fighting. If they're not fighting like men, then they are fighting in their own way. The theme itself made me fall in love with the novel, but the way this novel has been written, I cannot explain in simple words. Like what Kristin Hannah has done in this novel, by the continuity, the jumping of perspectives, the point of views, it always get on my nerves. But the continuity in this novel is immaculate. I leave the perspective of Isabel and I move on to the perspective of Vianne in the next chapter. And then in the next chapter, I'm reading about the perspective of Isabel. But then the continuity is so smoothly done that I don't feel like I should stop reading this novel. It's done really seamlessly. And the way Kristin Hannah has written the emotions, especially the bond between Isabel and her father, oh my god, I don't know how to explain it. So I laughed with these characters, I cried with these characters, I just went through all the emotions that these people in this novel are going through. And it just gets on your nerves in a happy way, in an emotional way, in a way that you feel happy with them, you feel sad with them, you feel concerned with them and worried with them, you feel scared with these characters. If you have already read this novel, please share your thoughts in the comments below. I would love to know your thoughts and what was your thought process while you were reading this novel. I will highly recommend this book. Go ahead, grab a copy and read it. You won't regret a single minute spent on this book. With that note, we have come to the end of this video. If you like the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please make sure to do that. I will see you guys really soon, inshallah. Till then, take care. God bless you. Assalamu alaikum. Bye.